We will call to order the Board of County Commissioners business meeting for Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. All three commissioners are present. Flag salute. Mr. Eisenberg, will you lead us in the flag salute this morning?
States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Zoom guidelines, Kate?
This meeting is streaming via Zoom and YouTube live with a link on Facebook. For those meeting in person, please remember to turn on your mic and speak directly into the mic when talking. For those joining us via Zoom, please remember to mute your phone or device when you are not speaking. If you forget to mute your phone or device, we will mute you. You will hear a voice saying you have been muted, and if you hear that voice, it is because we could hear your background noise. For questions during the meeting, please raise your hand. If you're not able to raise your hand, please wait until the commissioners ask for questions.
Thank you, Kate. Reva, public comment.
Good morning. The commissioners welcome public comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person. There's a timer in front of me. It'll be green when you have plenty of time left. It'll turn yellow when you have 30 seconds left, and it'll turn red when your time is up. We do ask that you please state your name and city of residence before you provide public comment. And we like to remind people that this is more of a one-way street. This is your opportunity to share your concerns with the commissioners, not necessarily their time to respond.
Thank you, Reva. Cynthia.
Is this working? Yay,
Yes.
I did it right. Thank you. I'm actually just wanted to say hello and share a little bit of information with everybody. I handed out our
Could you
annual.
state your name and
Oh, sorry.
city of residence?
Cynthia Mudge and Chehalis. We have our new directory, which is also a relocation guide and visitor guide. So anyone who needs extra copies for handing out, just let us know. We will be happy to share those with you. We have a ribbon cutting in Winlock, so we're really hoping to see people out there. It's for Bark and Bath. It's in Winlock on the 20th. And just, again, feel free to contact us if you need more information about that. Our business after hours is also Thursday at the Renew Wellness, and this is a way to interact with some of our members and do some networking. We've also passed out our calendar of events, and the next big thing we're looking forward to actually is our home show, which is in April, and our Rob Fuller Scholarship Fund. We are really pleased. Our banquet raised enough money to give out $1,000, 10 $1,000 scholarships, and there are 8 other scholarships we'll be giving out. So thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Do we have anyone else in the gallery for public comment?
And if I could just say, your say it again. No, the brochure was great, but the event that you had at the college just a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, was pretty impressive. And just to see the growth that has taken place within Chamber in the last 3 to 4 years has been pretty exciting to see.
Thank you so much.
Anyone online for public comment? Seeing none, we'll move to consent items.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve 2 consent items, Resolution 25-050, approval of warrants and payroll, and also minutes from the February 11th, 2025 BOCC business meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 25-050. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Move that we approve 3 deliberation items, Resolution 25-051 through 053.
Second.
Mr. Eisenberg.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Eisenberg on behalf of the Lewis County Homeless Shelter. I'm here to talk about Resolution 25-051. This is a resolution to ratify a change order on the Schwiesel contract for renovations at the Lewis County Homeless Shelter. It's a small dollar change. We identified some labor-intensive but relatively easy work that facilities asked the contractor to do instead of having their own in-house people do it. With this change order, the total contract amount is $103,629. Excuse me, $103,629. I can't speak English, I promise. That is well under the $160,000 estimate that the county had for the work, so we're still well within budget. and I ask you to approve the change order. Other than my inability to speak, are there any questions?
No, I would request a opportunity for the three of us commissioners to go look at the building. I don't know if we want to do it individually or we could do it all collectively, but it looks like it's like ready to go.
The inside of the building is very close to finished. We are still working on the front edge, the sidewalks, curbs, gutters, and et cetera for outside. But yes, I'll set about organizing that right away. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Interlocal agreement.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeff Soderquist, County Engineer. This resolution, here to speak on Resolution 25-052. This resolution is to approve interlocal agreements with the City of Winlock and Morton. These are agreements that we sign about every 5 years to be able to perform maintenance work on their behalf and get reimbursed. There are term limits in there and all that sort of good stuff to limit the amount of work that we can sign under this agreement.
Thank you, Jeff. Resolution 25-053, the Board of County Commissioners this morning have the privilege of passing this resolution to dedicate the Expo Hall at the Southwest Washington Fairgrounds in memory of Lee Combs. I'm going to read the resolution that whereas Lee Combs was a dedicated public servant, lifelong community advocate, and passionate volunteer who made an indelible mark on Lewis County. Lee's contribution to the community included his leadership as the first mayor of Centralia, following the change to a council form of government, as well as his lifelong standing involvement in various local organizations, boards, and committees. Lee was instrumental in the founding of the Southwest Washington Fairgrounds Spring Youth Fair, which continues to foster youth participation and community engagement. He was a key figure in the creation of the annual Fort Borst Park Christmas lights display. Lee has well served as fire commissioner during the merger of the Lewis County Fire District 12 and the Centralia Fire Department into the Riverside Fire Authority, demonstrating his commitment to public safety. Lee was also an entrepreneurial spirit that led him to manage the Southwest Washington Fair, serve as the manager of Downey's Auto Center, operate the Sausage House and Deli, as well as contribute to the success of Summerfest, all while making a lasting impact on the lives of those around him. Lee was a devoted husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, who shared a deep love for his community and his family. He was known for his generosity, kindness, and commitment to service. Lee's legacy of service, volunteerism, and dedication to improving the quality of life for all Lewis County residents will be remembered fondly for generations to come. The Expo Hall at the Southwest Washington Fairgrounds stands as a place where countless events have brought people together from all walks of life, much like the legacy of service that Lee created during his lifetime. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Lewis County Commissioners hereby dedicates the Expo Hall at the Southwest Washington Fairgrounds in memory of Lee Combs, honoring his unwavering dedication to his community, his tireless volunteerism, and his many contributions to the cultural, civic, and social life of Lewis County. Lee was a pillar in this community. He was a man of integrity and honesty. He was a man of service who served the people of Lewis County well. And it is our privilege this morning to dedicate the Expo Hall at the fairgrounds in Lee's honor. Bonnie, would you like to come up and we'll At this point, I'm going to open up if there's anyone else that would like to share on behalf of this resolution this morning. George, I see you pulling the microphone around.
Thank you, Commissioner. I only knew Lee periodically for a short period of time while he was serving as on the advisory board for the fairgrounds. But some of the things that Lee brought to the board was his leadership, his history of the fairgrounds. And it kind of made me go back and look at a couple of different things and Lee's legacy for his 7 years as the manager at the fairgrounds. During that time, he had over 500,000 people show up at the fair within his 7 years there. He started the harness horse racing again back in 1982. That started, they lasted for 2 years before they found out they weren't making a lot of money on betting like they would hoped. So, because people were just there to see the horses and not really betting. So Lee also just provided a lot of background. And so as an advisory board, when Bonnie came in front of us and asked us to do this and made the recommendation, there was no hesitation with any board member, as you know, commissioners, that we wanted to do this for Lee, his family, and we're just so proud of what Lee was able to accomplish while he was here with us. Thank you.
Edna?
Yes. When we talk about Lee, Mr. Community, it's hard to even capsulize all the things that he's done. You think, oh, we missed this piece, we missed this piece, because he had so much integrity and throughout the community to do what was best for our community. And I remember, and Bonnie, you probably remember this too, at an economic development annual dinner, we were there and we commissioners had decided that we needed a change at the fair for the manager. So as Lee and I are in the buffet line with other Centralia counselors, I said, Lee, would you like to manage the fair? And that was like in February, and the fair is in August. And he did not hesitate, and he did it, and he did us proud. So a man for all seasons, a man who a lot of kids should look at as a role model. Thank you.
Thank you, Edna. Go ahead.
I'm Becky Gillum, and as Lee's daughter, I really thank you for doing this. The fair played a big part in our lives, and I remember going in an expo hall when I was just really little with the Home and Garden Show was held there, and the Spring Youth Fair being in there mostly, and the fair had a big impact on our lives, and I hope that this would show that the community, all that, just a little portion of his life as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Bonnie, go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank the commissioners for this resolution. Well deserved. I want to let you know that he was a man who took opportunities. He was actually born in Opportunity, Washington, for those who don't know that. And the opportunities that he had in his lifetime, but the opportunities that he gave others to be able to accomplish the things that he accomplished with everybody. He was well loved. He served well. His service is March 8th at 11 o'clock at the Transalta Commons at the college, and everybody is welcome. And again, thank you very much. I loved him so much.
Thank you, Bonnie. We appreciate you. Anyone else in the gallery for comment? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Max Vogt. I serve on Centralia City Council. And I met Lee late in life, about 20 years ago. And he encouraged me to be on city council. And he was so generous because he gave everything, all his knowledge to me that he could. And I served as mayor pro tem, now called deputy mayor under Lee, and taught me everything I needed to know. And Lee and Bonnie taught me in the very beginning of running for public service. He said, this is never about you. It's always about the city or the community you serve. Don't ever forget that. He lived that way. He was generous and kind. Uh, he was honestly the best male role model I've ever known. He was good 30 years older than me. He was like a substitute father. I loved him and he loved me. And it was a wonderful place to be when Lee Coombs loved you. The final thing I want to say is we would do this thing every 4th of July where the city council would serve pancake breakfast free to anyone who came to the park in Centralia Boyce Park. And he did this for years before I came. And when I was there, he was close to 80, the last one we did. And he ran circles around everybody that worked that booth with him, serving pancakes and eggs and everything we did for hours. I was exhausted. And he would come up and say, you got to scrape the griddle like this. And he was like really strong. And I'm like, how do you do this? You're like almost 80 years old. And he would work the entire day. He wouldn't eat, as Bonnie would attest to. We're not eating, we have to work, until the whole day was over at the end of the day with the demolition derby at 10 o'clock at night. I've never seen anybody work like this. At that age, it was incredible. And he was so inspired to help other people. I think he was driven that way. So I will never forget this man. He has changed my life in many ways. And I'm so proud that you're doing this honor of him with the fairgrounds, because that's what he was. He was about community. Thank you.
Max. Anyone else? Alex?
Just add one thing for the group. We're really excited for the next part of this, which is the signage that will go over the exhibition hall in remembrance of Lee. That we will be unveiling the first night of Spring Youth Fair, which is Friday, May 2nd. So we will also send things out to the community, letting them know. But for this group here, Friday, May 2nd, we will be doing the formal unveiling of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I see online Colonel Averill.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm really pleased, Commissioners, that you have given this honor to Lee. It's well deserved. His work that he did with both the fair itself, the big fair, and the youth fair, it was a great thing for our community, and he will really be missed. I also sit on the Farm Bureau, and we've have contributed to the youth fair on a regular basis for many years now, because that does so much for our youth. And we can't say how much we appreciate what Lee has accomplished, and I'm glad to see that this distinguished honor goes to him, and we'll be able to remember this every time we go to the fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. Anyone else? Go ahead and add.
If I can go for a second time, I just want to relate a story about what happened last year at opening ceremonies. And when we were planning for opening ceremonies, somebody thought, why don't we bring kids' animals there? Why can't, 4-H and FFA? And there were some doubters in the crowd and said, oh, they're so busy with everything else at the fair. Well, guess who got those kids and their animals to opening ceremonies? Lee Combs.
If I could say just one thing, one thing that I think has been missed is the pulled pork sandwiches. That you go to all the different events, and there is Bonnie and Lee making the pulled pork sandwiches, whether it be for the different raffle items that you guys would go and make it for a different events. A lot of the different events at the fairgrounds where you guys provide it. I know my daughter loved the pulled pork sandwiches, always wanted to go back for seconds, steal some of her sisters. So it's very good. The other thing is, the legacy that he leaves behind is one of service, volunteering, all the time that he spent at the fairground. Minus being the fair manager, he just gave his time to serve. And if that is something that a legacy that we could grab a hold of, is is volunteering and serving our community and taking that mantle and just doing that well. And that's how we keep people's legacies alive. And Lee was a huge servant. And I think that is something that's been peppered throughout everyone's comments is just he served, whether it be fire with EMS or first responders to just working with the kids. He was a great servant. And so if I would just encourage you, spring fair is coming up, regular fair is coming up, and we always need volunteers. So
Well, I'd say there's probably a joke in there somewhere about pulled pork, sausage, and government. But definitely Lee's amount of service was amazing. Well, one small part that maybe most folks don't know is that during Spring Youth Fair, it's not Spring Youth Fair unless it's 33 degrees and raining. And on Sunday morning, he would make sure to get everybody out and you would take your animal to church. And he would hold a service in what was the old show pavilion, but then moved into the new ones. But made sure to just get everybody together and organized, and just that that building of community that he will always be known for. We appreciate his service, and he will be missed.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing. It's been moved and seconded to approve deliberation items Resolution 25-051 through 25-053. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Announcements, new business, calendars, anything from the press?
Move to adjourn.